Hi, I'm Andy and I know containers. Born and raised in Germany and now in Australia. I've been working with containers for almost 15 years, and if you're thinking about buying a used container, there are a few things you really want to pay attention to. Just because a container is used does not mean it is useless, but it also does not mean it is problem-free. A used container still has to be winter watertight. If that is not the case, the price has to reflect it, no exceptions. Most of the containers we sell come directly from shipping lines. They arrive in various conditions. Whether we repair them or not depends to the current market price and what condition the box is in. If repairs are not worth it, the container is left as it is and sold as ex-service, so to say, in an as-is condition. You might see dents, rust, worn floorboards or damage in some places, but that is exactly why the price is lower. If a container has been repaired, then it was brought back to cargo-worthy condition. That means it's winter watertight, structurally sound, and ready to use without concerns. But with used containers, you usually don't get to pick the color. They come out of the stack as they are, brown, blue or gray, whatever's next in the pile. When I inspect used containers, I always start with the outside. First thing, door panels. They need to open and close properly, like this. The door locking bars must be straight and able to move without force. Check the locking gear cams and keeper brackets and make sure they are not seized or heavily corroded. Also have a look to the alignment. If the doors are twisted or warped, they will be difficult to operate. Look at the door gaskets as well. They must be complete, elastic and properly sealed. Check the CSC plate on the left door panel. Rust often forms around it and it gives you a sense of how the container was treated. If you are dealing with a 40-foot container and you need forklift pockets, almost none of them have it. That is just the reality with used 40-footers. 20-foot containers are different. They almost always come with forklift pockets. You can rely on that. If you have the chance to check the roof, do it. You do not have to climb up to the roof completely. Just put a ladder next to the container, take a proper look from above and see if everything seems alright. That already gives you a good first impression. The roof should still have its natural curve. That slight arch is important because it lets rainwater run off to the sides. If the middle is flat or dented, water starts to pool. And once that happens, rust sets and turns into leaks. Now step inside the container and close the doors behind you. Look around. If you see light coming through, even just small points, the unit is leaking. That kind of thing usually starts on the roof or in the upper corners. Take your time and look at all the joints and seams. Have a proper look to the floorboards. If you see dark patches or stains, that means that there will be water inside, or there has been water inside. And if the water stayed there too long, the plywood starts to delaminate. That weakens the structure. You might not notice it immediately, but the load-bearing capacity will be reduced. Use your senses too. If the container has a strong smell, chemicals, fertilizer, old cargo, anything unpleasant, that has to be addressed. Sometimes a steam clean is enough. In other cases, the odor is soaked into the floor and the replacement might be the only option. It depends on what you plan to use the container for. Ventilation is another point people often miss. Older containers usually have just one or two ventilators per side, and I have seen many cases where someone taped them shut. Why that happens, no idea. But if the vents are sealed, there is no airflow inside. That's a serious problem, especially in a hot climate like Australia. And for that reason, all our new containers come up to 18 vents. And there is a reason for that. Over the time, we have seen that proper airflow helps the container last longer. It prevents moisture buildup and keeps the interior in better shape. If your used container has too few vents, you can always retrofit additional ones. It is a quick job and it makes a big difference. So let us say you have gone through everything and decided to buy the used container. There is one more thing you really need to pay attention on. That is the surface you are placing it on. If the ground is uneven or soft, the container can twist out of shape. With used containers, you do not have that much tolerance left. Even a slight Misalignment can cause the container doors to jam. Make sure the surface is flat, level and firm. Concrete is ideal, but well-compacted gravel or solid pavers can also do the job, as long as it is even. A used container can be a great investment, but only if you check it properly. If you want to see what a rough one looks like compared to a good one, have a look to my Beauty and Beast video. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.